Good morning, Positive Painters, and welcome to this week's episode of your weekly newsletter coming to you, where I talk about what's coming up and kind of what's happening. And as always, one of the things that I'm trying to start to do every time is give a shout out to our members that are just doing a phenomenal job. And so without further ado, I want to thank Elizabeth, and Julie, and then also our newest member, Jason. So Elizabeth, man, you are just killing it. Look at, she is, before I even say anything, she is completing the Lunch and Learn homework. And, you know, we just had that meeting last Thursday. I just released it like this morning, yes, and some of it yesterday. So she's already gone through that and started working on that. And then she started her homework, people. Okay, her homework. And just in case you don't remember what your homework was for the Lunch and Learn that we had last Thursday, which was Planning Mindfully with Action Part 2, where we talked about basically how to plan and do some time blocking. So she is already doing the homework where you go into your progress logs. And I should actually clarify something here. Homework, this is something that you should do from this point forward. It is a life change. It's like altering your diet. You don't diet for a short period of time. You make a life change in order to achieve lifetime results. So same thing is applying here. We provided you the tools and the information that you need to be able to plan your task and block that time. Now it's up to you to actually make that change in your life, to see the change in your life. And she is doing that. So kudos to Elizabeth. I'm so excited for you. And you guys can actually read her progress log too and go, man, that's a great idea. I need to be doing that too. So go do that, start your own progress logs so that you can keep track and have some accountability measures as you move through your artistic career. Okay, so yay, Elizabeth, so excited. Okay, and then Julie Knowles, OMG, look at her artwork. So this month's challenge is to create a winter scene. Now, you guys are artists. Imagine what that can be. And I don't mean it has to be painted. It could be digitally created. It could be, because to my mindset, that is painting. Whenever you put something onto paper, you are painting a scene. And whether that's graphite, colored pencil, digital artwork, oil painting, watercolor, it is painting a scene. It's changing the view that we currently see. So Julie is actually putting together a wolf scene with oil and winter. So I'm so excited to see what's going to come of that. And I know Jason's working on a graphite drawing in winter scene, which I can't wait to see what that looks like. No pressure at all. And then I also wanted to give a shout out to Jason. He is our newest member, and he is also killing it already and achieving his brushes. So he does now have a bronze brush, which means he's completed the initial task, went through the initial welcome orientation. And I want to share with you guys a little bit about Jason here. So let me get to the right thing here. Okay, so over on my menu here, I can see people's faces, so recently active members. So I'm going to click on Jason, and so you guys can actually check him out too. No pressure, Jason, just welcome you to the crew, and this way everybody will get to know you and can relate to some of the things that you're doing. Because when I read your profile, I was just like, oh, yeah, he's going to fit in really, really well with these goal-oriented artists. So Jason's already filled out his profile here, and his medium is actually graphite and colored pencil, and he loves doing portraits. So, naturally my mind went to you, Candace, with portraits. I know you're wanting to do more and more portraiture, and you're also exploring colored pencil with another community member, John Medic. So there's lots of great stuff going on here. I'm so excited and welcome. I also want to share with you guys some of his imagery. You can also check out those on photos. And if you haven't put your photos out here of your work, go ahead and do that, because this is just a wonderful way to see what others are working on, and we all gain inspiration from each other. So I'm going to check out his photos. OMG, look at that little smooch face right there. Okay. I've had a lot of coffee. Okay, but look at those. How amazing are those? Great details, amazing drawing. So I am sure we're going to be seeing more of Jason as we progress in our art community. So welcome and great job, everyone. So excited that you're just doing so many great things. So speaking of doing so many great things, we are about midway point in this month, a little bit past. So I have an eye on the future. What I'm looking at is our leaderboard. So our leaderboard, Candace is leading this quarter in positive painter points, and what that means is that the top 3 people at the end of this quarter will be awarded the featured artist spot. So the featured artist spot you would get on the featured artist page, and I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So in the featured artist page, it would look something like this, except maybe with your name on it. So what I do is I put together your featured artist showcasing you. You provide your bio and your URL, and this is going across all my my social media platforms multiple times. And so that way, ideally, it gets more exposure for you, and it has backlinks going back to your website, which increases your SEO. If you're not familiar with SEO, I have a great article about SEO. So it's very important and something that you want to do and get your imagery out there. All right, so that's what you're working towards with your positive painter points. Each quarter, those positive painter points reset, so that everybody has an opportunity to be a featured artist. It is based on points alone. So the more you interact, the more courses you complete, the more challenges you complete. And with a recent feature of sharing, I'll show you this. Under your positive painter achievements, you have the ability to earn a lot of points. And I know this is how a couple of the top 2 leaders right now are achieving this. They are sharing their referral link, and so you would go to your positive painter points and then click on your referral link. You can also see all the brushes that you've achieved and which ones you haven't achieved yet and who has achieved them. So, oh look, I have earned that one. Neat. I didn't know I did that. Okay, so so this is a great place to kind of get that information and see what you've done. So we've got also in here separated up. This is the quarter count. So you can see quarterly, and then the overall, who is in the overall leaderboard and where you kind of stand in it. And I do put only the top 10 in there. So that is how you progress. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, the Lunch and Learn is now up so that you can go to your My Courses. You'll see Planning for Creatives. This is available right now for the Positive Painter Pro members. If you're a light member, it is an additional fee, or you can just upgrade to Positive Painter Pro and get everything, so including past Lunch and Learns. So Planning Mindfully for Creatives is up. So like I mentioned before, if you haven't already gone through that, go ahead and go through that. Complete the homework. The homework does have links and all the reference materials that Julie provided. I've also got it broken down so you can review it step by step. And I'll go ahead and click on that. So you can see like at what point, step 1, prioritize your goals, step 2, sub goals, step 3, and so on. So that way if you have questions, you can just kind of skip to that particular section and do what you need to do. The homework section identifies your planet worksheet, so you can click there to gain your planet worksheet, and then your ideal week, which is pretty interesting task to take. And then keeping track of your progress. So we have your progress log, which I mentioned earlier that Elizabeth is already doing. And then also go ahead and share your weekly wins. So attitude of gratitude every week. Think about what really, really went well for you and what made you smile. And add that to your weekly wins. It doesn't necessarily have to be art related. Art is your life and life is art. So those are your weekly wins. All right, so starting last week, I did art business tip. It's 10 minutes or less, a video tutorial, not a video tutorial, but a video explanation of kind of an art business tip. Last week it was focused on SMART goals, This week it is focused on overcoming obstacles and those SMART goals. So those are available on the blog, and they're on Art Business Tips. You can also watch them and interact with me on Facebook or YouTube every Tuesday at noon. And again, it's only 10 minutes, so it's just a kind of a quick thing. I'll repost everything. The transcript is here in case you read faster than I talk. And then there's usually a little downloadable with things, but not always. So you can always check that out every Tuesday. The second episode was released on the 19th at 12 o'clock. And again, that one was about overcoming those obstacles. The next one, episode 3, is going to be about longevity and stamina to achieve your art goals. Something that I think we all have a little bit of trouble with. So we're going to be talking about that. Some events that are coming up. So on our events, we have got all the weekly things coming up. I also want to point out that Friday the 22nd, we're doing something a little bit different with Planning with Jules. So Julie and I are actually going to get on YouTube together and share our planning techniques together. So we're going to be having our coffee and chatting about our planning and all the obstacles and thoughts that we have in place, that we have whenever we go through our planning. All right, so join us Friday morning at 9 a.m. You can register here so you get the email reminders. Also, don't forget about John Middick every Monday, the Sharpened Artist. He is working on a color pencil study, which is really quite good. I'm not a color pencil artist myself, but I did pick up some great tips from him this past Monday, including like this little suction cup blower thingy that you can use to blow off your eraser shavings, which, you know, we all erase. And I don't like touching it with my hand, really. So that little blower thing was really a great idea without having to use your mouth with fear of, like, you know, getting spit on the paper. You know, stuff happens. Okay. All right. And then also don't forget and register for members only Q&A and submit your questions to the members only Q&A. There is a form down below, so if there are questions that you already have and you want to talk about those, we'll have that in here. I know Elizabeth is also probably interested in having us go through her website, so this is a great opportunity for a website review too. If that is something that you're looking at, we can go through that, talk through it, and be very interactive conversation. Walk away with some actionable items to change. All right, just gonna take a sip here. Oh yeah, buy one of my mugs. They're awesome. It says, wait until this is empty and then I'll be ready to paint. So yeah, it's like a 20 ounce. All sorts of coffee can go in here, man. Let me tell you. Okay. Also coming up, last but certainly not least, is next month's Lunch and Learn, where we do 5 must-do legal tasks for new businesses. Go ahead and register for that. I guarantee there's going to be some nuggets of information in there that is going to be valuable to all of us creatives. So be sure to register for that. If you have any questions, submit those questions to the link so that Tiffany can prepare ahead of time. All right. So that is it for this week and next week. Again, you guys keep up the great work, and until next time, you stay safe, happy and healthy, and happy painting. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot. So I got one more thing. So don't forget this week's topic of the week, our discussion of the week. This one is, where or when do you get your best ideas? So last week we talked about art books. So go ahead and check out that discussion of the week. You can go to your groups, click on weekly discussions, and go check out the weekly discussions. You can even go to past ones, put in your input, your insights, your books. I can tell you, I'm going to grab a book that I hadn't read before, which is called The Art of War, or is it War of Art? Hold on. There's a book that Julie recommended. It's called War of Art. Okay, yeah, I haven't read that one yet, so I'm going to go check that one out. So if there's some great art books that you've put out there or that you've read, add them to this forum so that we can check it out and learn. All right, and there are lots of other great topics in here. Be sure to go ahead and review those and add in your insights, because we actually want to know. All right, until next time, again, you guys stay safe, happy and healthy, and happy painting.